injections hired millions of people. Most folks got $500 to $1,000. Some got hundreds of thousands of dollars. Big NBA and NFL players. So he's up there flat out lying to you. Bill Gates spent $300 million in the last 2 years alone on paying off media for scripts he wants put out. This guy up there on screen, what's this moron's name? What's this idiot's name? What clip is it? Kal Penn. This guy's up there, publicly paid to do this, on the payroll at this event, guaranteed, telling the viewers and telling the attendees that, start the whole clip over, that it was crazy. People thought an entertainer was hired to be brought in to sell the Obama scam, which tripled prices. You said it would be the cost of your phone bill or cable bill. Well, you saw it triple, not cut your bill by 2/3. So just, again, everything he says is a lie. And now he's going to tell you about dealing with disinformation. Here it is.
What a nice space, nice, bright, beautiful day. Maybe not for you. You all have a little too much sun in your eyes. Sorry, all right. It looked nice from where I'm standing. Thank you for having me. Now look, this panel is about misinformation, okay? And that is something, very selfishly, I think almost every actor or politician or athlete or musician knows something about. There are gossip blogs masquerading as journalists. There are conspiracy theorists with YouTube followings. There's a lot to choose from if you're in the market for something that's a little bit nuts. I remember when I worked as an aide to President Obama, I remember some folks were completely convinced that I had taken a leave of absence from acting and was placed into the White House to orchestrate a massive propaganda machine through which artists would sell people on the Affordable Care Act, or the ACA. Obviously, we all know that if that was true, the rollout of the ACA would have gone smoothly, which it did not. So it's not my fault. When you add misinformation into a mix...
Back it up 5 seconds. Notice he didn't say it's not true. Very slick writing he's been given to say, this is next level. He doesn't say it's not true that he was paid to do that. He was paid in the White House to roll that out. That's what he did. He's part of that. He says if it was true, they would have had a good rollout of it. It was designed to wreck American healthcare. Ezekiel Emanuel helped write it, said it's designed to destroy American healthcare and bring in a new system. But you all know they pay influencers. It's on record, but he's lying to you. Continue. Go ahead and roll the machine
through which artists would sell people on the Affordable Care Act, or the ACA. Obviously, we all know that if that was true, the rollout of the ACA would have gone smoothly, which it did not. So it's not my fault. When you add misinformation into a mix of passion and emotion and history and mistrust, our world's most audacious accomplishments can easily be extinguished. According to recent polling, 70% of people believe the spread of false information to be a major threat. That's higher than cyber attacks. That's higher than infectious diseases. That's higher than threats to the economy. So this perception is the biggest threat behind climate change. It's clear that over the past 2 years, we've seen more confusing and conflicting information than ever, despite the new innovative solutions that the world has benefited from.
So Jacinda Ardern, the globalist WEF minion that runs New Zealand, she said it's worse than weapons of mass destruction. It's the new weapons. Of course, let's put on screen for TV viewers, radio listeners, I'll read the headline. There were big articles at the time how he, the very comedian on screen, along with others, was hired to produce TV ads promoting Obamacare. He just told you that it was a conspiracy and wasn't real, thinking you can't remember 10 years ago. There's the Charlotte Observer, calling healthcare a right. Most North Carolina influencers say expanded Medicare, keep Obamacare. So there they are in the news being paid to do it. And he comes out and says, these crazy people say I was paid to do it.
I got this.
Well, that was true. It would have gone better.
Bye. What's up, Pet?
targeting morons. They're targeting unconscious people. It's extremely criminal. It's extremely dangerous. All right, I'm done talking about that. I'm going to come back and hit the Russia news, the economy news. 2023 will be the year from hell, top financial analyst Lawrence, and I agree. We're going to be getting ready for this and laying it out next segment. I have a very special guest in the second hour. But I'm going to say this again. I'm not sponsored by Bill Gates or George Soros, the New World Order. I'm sponsored by you. Plus, I've got great products you need. We're running for only like 8-9 days more until next Sunday. Not this Sunday today, but next week. About 7-8 days out. The InfoWars Super Sale at InfoWarsStore.com. X3, all 3 types of healthy, pure iodine to supercharge your entire body, your electrochemical systems, your cells, your immune system, your libido, your stamina, your energy, your focus. It is so damn important on every front. Everybody needs X3. It's the missing link. It's back in stock. 50% off. Everything is 50 to 40% off across the board. Some things are loss leaders at that price. DNA Force Plus, vitamin D3 gummies with calcium, Ultimate Krill Oil, 1,100% of the daily allowance of super strong organic vitamin C with zinc, supercharging everything. It's 50% off. It's all there at InfoWarsStore.com. It's your decision whether you want to smash these people or not while boosting your immune system and being healthy. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. You can order over the phone, 888-253-3139. They get the limited edition Teddy Roosevelt and the Arena coin before they sell out at 1776coin.com. By the will of God, and by God working through you and your support, InfoWars continues to persevere against attacks never before seen in the Western world against independent media. Thanks for keeping me in the fight. And over the years, you have come to the table. You have stepped to the plate so many times and kept InfoWars and free speech on the air, and I thank you.
Hey,
but now, I have my own legal bills that have reached the point that I can't pay them. I need your support. So if you want to keep this operation moving forward, if you want to back me in this fight against the globalists, please visit SaveInfoWars.com. And SaveInfoWars.com takes you to a URL at GiveSendGo for direct Alex Jones Legal Defense Fund. This whole phase of their attacks, 4 years in the making, is almost over. And right at the end, we're not giving up, we're not giving in, but we could give out. So please, if you support what we're doing, want to fight for liberty and freedom and justice in the future, go to SaveInfoWars.com today.
I think I'm here not as conquerors, but as liberators. It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our blood. Return to your homes. Hold your families close. And wait. The fire rises.
The biggest sale of 2022 is now live. It's only running in the last week of September and the first week of October. Dozens of our best-selling products are finally back in stock, and they're 40 to 50% off across the board. The most important of them all is Survival Shield X3. all 3 types of the very best iodine, documented to not just boost your libido, your stamina, your health, your energy, your cells, your immune system, but to overall give you more energy. It's the foundation of everything from energy to fertility. X3, 50% off, is finally back in stock exclusively at InfoWarsStore.com. You've heard the callers, you've seen the rave reviews. Now experience X3 for yourself exclusively at InfoWarsStore.com, 50% off. And while you're there, check out some of the other great products that are finally back in stock and maximally discounted as well. Part of the InfoWars Store Super Sale running for 2 weeks only. Again, X3 back in stock, 50% off.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
It's Sunday night. We're live. We're battling the globalists at point blank range. The Democratic Party lawyers are all over the news saying their mission is to silence InfoWars and then you. These are tyrants.
I ask that with your verdict, you not only take Alex Jones' platform that he talks about away, I ask that you make certain he can't rebuild the platform. That's what matters. Take him out of this discourse, of this misinformation, of this peddling of lies, and make sure he can't do it again. That is punishment. That is deterrence.
But somewhere out there right now is another thing. The perpetrators. Fixing their lunches. Going to work. They get up to 30. And there's going to be a day when that child doesn't come home from school. And we know it, and it's sad, and that's reality. And the question's going to be, where's Alex Jones from that? Hey. In the studio? Get rid of your house. Or will you stop him? That's going to be your answer. If we get all done with all the evidence, we're going to come back and we're going to ask this. Because that's what justice is in this case.
They've got to silence you before they can carry out their operations against you. They think they can break your will, demoralize you, but they won't. I told my wife when I got remarried 6 years ago in Hawaii, I told her this 5 years when they handed the baton of InfoWars over to Owen Schroyer and others on their podcast once a week, maybe write books. I can't do this for decade after decade. It's killing me. But now, the rule order's out in the open. We didn't stop it. We just got ready for it. So now we've got to fight a can. No, because their lust to shut us down, I tell you all, I'll never give up. And we're already expanding the amount of shows we do, and so much more is coming. Not this #1 book, not this #1 film, but so much more. To quote John Paul Jones, the founder of the U.S. Navy. When the British told him to surrender, he said, I've only begun to fight. He took that enemy ship, because his ship sunk and won that famous battle. We will win, because we have you as an audience of activists. We have God on our side. Let's talk about monstrous disinformation. They use dead kids to try to take your guns. They use dead kids to try to take your speech. These ghouls. You have the head of the UN Information Bureau saying we own the science. We're going to shut down the dirty Americans, the dirty Brits, the dirty Scots, the dirty Irish, the dirty Germans. You see all their fake newscasts we just exposed. We showed you Bill Gates' minion. Talk about this info. Look at this video. Canada, we're the last country in the world, drops COVID-19 restrictions, ends mask mandate because everybody's turning against them. Same thing's happening here in the U.S. with medical workers. Tragedy, 20-year-old med student dies from heart attack 1 day after COVID vaccine. Canadian actress revealed she had no palsy 2 weeks after vaccine since she'd taken it in. Stockholm Syndrome. Pfizer CEO fails on EU testimony. Now there's criminal investigation after report highlights secretive vaccine deal. It's totally illegal. The growing global reliance on antidepressants. 20% of the Western world is on these drugs and on record are linked directly to cancer, infertility, and more. Oh, but they're the good guys. What was that Atlanta, San Diego shooter on? A bunch of antidepressants. Oh, but they're the good guys. Meanwhile, a giant screw to taxpayers. Fauci's pal Peter Daszak is awarded new government NIH grant to study back coronavirus in Asia like he was already doing. CDC ends mask requirements in healthcare, and almost nobody knows. Everything they said was a lie. They are the kings of disinformation. They are the fraud engaged in economic warfare for the private central banks against their Greta Thunberg when ready. For the private central banks of the world that issue all the currency themselves and leave us with the debt, leave us with devaluation. They have issued quadrillions of money themselves, done all this, and now, Biden said, Obama's third administration, that he would forgive the student debt. Turns out now he isn't going to. It's all bait and switches. 2023 will be the year from hell. Top financial analysts warns Europe could suck the rest of the world into the tubes. Legendary financial geopolitical analyst Martin Armstrong was back on this week. Predicted a year ago on the show, 6 months ago on the show, says nothing is going to get better by the end of 2022, and it's still forecasting chaos coming in 2023. Ladron Spencer asked the question on Twitter, well, the federal government's just going to print whatever money it wants, why do we still pay taxes? Because you pay them, and you selectively pay them, they don't. Just shut your business down, not them. It's economic warfare. And here's the clip I was mentioning. Greta Thunberg, the Antifa dog, the Trump person saying, how dare you will pay for not cutting off resources and starving the third world to death. She gets up at a UN event and says we've got to give the banks whatever they want. We got to give the central banks unlimited currency. Prince Charles called for it. Now King Charles called for it as the king. They want unlimited currency more than exists in the world to fight a war against carbon when we're carbon-based life forms and plants live off of carbon. They're banning farming and ranching all over the world, mass starvation, and then turning around and posing as the saviors as it unfolds. And here's Greta Thunberg, clearly autistic. They admit she is, given scripts to read like a robot, like a biological android. Like you pull the string and she says what you want. Save the banks, save the world. That's right, and the Leonardo DiCaprios and the Prince Charleses of the world fly around in private jets and party and live on giant mansions, but you can't have air conditioning, you can't have a car, you can't have food, you're going to eat bugs. The most selfish, arrogant, hypocritical, fraudulent people the world's ever seen. He flies in on private jets to lecture you that you want gas heating in the winter. Greta Thunberg, we can save the banks. We can save the world.
There is this debate going on within the Democratic Party as it tries to decide who to run against Donald Trump about whether or not to have a response to climate change that's very bold, that spends a lot of money to do these transformations, and the counter response, which is it's too much, it's too big, it's too expensive. Do you have anything to add to these debates about in particular the idea that it's kind of too expensive to deal with climate change?
I mean, it is, the money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world. I mean, all the birds.
Now you see him saying it everywhere. Oh, she's so incredible. Save the banks, save the world. Meanwhile, India has shut down banks for 20 days to bring out their new digital currency. Stocks suffered their worst September since 2002. What does that mean for October? I think you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, here's a photo of downtown Los Angeles today. Regular fuel, $8.35, plus $8.37. Supreme and Chevron, $8.39 diesel, $8.55. But there's no inflation. We have the Goya Foods CEO, they're a great company, the best meat things out there. says food shortages are very real, but mass starvation happening worldwide because of the lockdowns that we've been in the New World Arena. We're going to play that clip coming up. There's people joining us. You've got the Russian news. You've got Patriots being left everywhere today. You've got Hillary calling for censorship today. If anybody that questions elections, so she's famously questions them, it's all coming up. But remember, the global success of shutting down InfoWars, if you spread the word about the broadcast, if you share the videos and articles, if you continue to fight and realize how important you are, if you continue to get great products you already need at InfoWarsStore.com, we can persevere. It will be a major victory for the enemy. They can shut us down. Don't believe all the national news lies. We've got $100 million. We don't have $2 million extra to run this operation. We've got like $2 million. That's nothing. Payroll, and crew, and all the rest of it. So please go to InfoWarsStore.com, get an unsigned book, or a signed book. That's a fundraiser book. Incredible book. That's our plan. Great reset for world at InfoWarsStore.com. And we have a big mega sale going on X3 back in stock and so much more. Don't wait. Take action. Be part of the victory. And that's how you come to InfoWars with great products. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. InfoWarsStore.com. Funds tomorrow, Tuesday at 1776coin.com. Limited edition Man in the Arena fundraising Jerusalem coin. The InfoWars Store Super Sale, the biggest sale of the year, is now live. All of our best-selling items, from the Ultimate Thrill Oil to the Vitamin D3 gummies with calcium, Supernova Vitality, to our great Fizzy Magnesium, highest quality magnesium out there, to Great Force Ultra, you name it, it's all back in stock. 40 to 50% off at InfoWarsStore.com. The most exciting part of this is we have X3 back in stock. So many people, the UN estimates over 2 million, have cognitive disabilities because they have iodine deficiencies. And most forms of iodine are not fully absorbable. But we have all three of the best, healthiest, most absorbable types of iodine together. That's why it's X3 in one formula. Now we also have X2, it's apples and oranges, it's a great formula as well. But it's pure deep root crystal. And it's amazing. X3 is deep root crystal with 2 other healthy types of iodine that your body absorbs. It is essential to electrochemical activity of the body, all cellular activity, your immune system, your stamina, your libido, your fertility. So many of the problems we have in the world today are because of iodine deficiency. Now, until 30 years ago, the government put it in the salt, the low-quality version, but still had some great effects. Many SSRI I used after just a few years of iodine in the salt were boosted up to 15 points on average 10 points. So X3 is unlike any other product out there. It's tri-iodine, and it's available at InfoWarsStore.com. Sold out for about 6 months and 50% off. So restock your X3. If you've never tried X3, try X3 today. And know regardless you win, because you're funding an organization that is having a massive effect against the New World Order, promoting liberty and freedom and justice. So X3 back in stock at InfoWarsStore.com.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
It's called Western magic. The occult practitioners that hijack control of our planet have to tell you what they're going to do to you before they do it. And it's subconsciously programmed. And it's even all over mainstream news now. The globalists and billionaires are going to the southern hemisphere. They're digging in northern Canada. They're getting ready. Total collapse. Because they engineered this collapse. It only gets worse than exposed. Here's a great race report. We'll come back with Larry Pinkney on how to stop the race war.
With our government guilty of pushing a deadly experimental vaccine, robbing the nation of its wealth, and starting a war with Russia, who has a superior nuclear weapons arsenal, one has to ask, be it angry mobs or atom bombs, where do these crooks plan on escaping the fallout?
And we're now handing out free bug-out bags to help you just in case you run into emergency. Lisa, all right, I asked you last time. I need to know the checklist of everything I gotta put in my bug-out bag. Toilet paper, paper towels, toilet paper, paper towels, back cotton balls, 2 opportunities opportunities to get these free emergency preparedness bags. So really an important effort, especially when we're talking about severe weather.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to go and get those bags, but for people who maybe can't make it out there, is there anything in there that's, too tough that you couldn't just put one of those together yourself?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could easily put together yourself. I mean, if you got the extra cotton ball, paper towels, toilet paper.
The city of Denver is letting the locals know they should be prepared for an unexpected order to get out of town in a hurry. And many people are connecting dots between this and the Denver International Airport. The Denver International Airport has long been rumored to be sitting atop an underground military base built deep beneath the surface and connected to several other underground bases. These rumors are the result of several interesting facts. From 1995 until he was found dead a year later, Bill Schneider gave dozens of lectures claiming to be a geological engineer hired to build deep underground military bases, known as DUMBs, for the U.S. government. His father was Captain Oscar Schneider, a former Nazi stationed in Florida, working black operations for naval intelligence. Bill Schneider was showing samples of what he claimed were unknown exotic metals. He provided maps of the underground dumps and showed off dramatic scars that he claimed were from a violent skirmish with a non-human species deep underground. In January of 1996, Schneider was found dead in his home, days after he mysteriously died of strangulation. Investigations were never completed, and it was ruled a suicide. His evidence went missing. Before he died, Bill Schneider used his clearance to take investigative author Alex Christopher into the top underground levels of the Denver airport, where they took pictures of a long road heading off to multiple destinations. Built upon 53 square miles of land, 25 miles from downtown, the Denver airport was billions of dollars over budget. Different contractors were hired for each section, some of whom have come forward and claimed it would take days to show you what's down there. Inside the otherwise unimpressive airport, there is a capstone with cryptic Illuminati and Masonic imagery, marking a time capsule buried beneath to be opened in 2094. The airport opened with a famous four-piece mural depicting biological warfare, death and destruction, the surrender of all national sovereignty, and the emergence of a new religion. On the floor, for no apparent reason, is what appears to be the symbol for gold and silver in a mining cart, AUAG, which is also the abbreviation for a deadly strain of hepatitis discovered in 1965. Outside on the surface, the runways form the shape of a swastika, and passengers are greeted by what has become known as Lucifer, a 32-foot horse with glowing red eyes that reportedly killed its creator when a piece of the sculpture came loose and severed an artery in his leg. This is why many people are talking about Denver's Bug Out Bag program, which is good, because now that we know who the people committing these historic crimes against humanity are, we can't just let them slip away into some hole somewhere. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
By the will of God, and by God working through you and your support, InfoWars continues to persevere against attacks never before seen in the Western world against independent media. Thanks for keeping me in the fight. And over the years, you have come to the table. You have stepped to the plate so many times and kept InfoWars and free speech on the air, and I thank you. But now, I have my own legal bills that have reached the point that I can't pay them. And I need your support. So if you want to keep this operation moving forward, if you want to back me in this fight against the globalists, please visit SaveInfoWars.com. And SaveInfoWars.com takes you to a URL at GiveSendGo for direct Alex Jones legal defense fund. This whole phase of their attacks, 4 years in the making, is almost over. And right at the end, we're not giving up, we're not giving in, but we could give out. So please, if you support what we're doing, you want to fight for liberty and freedom and justice in the future, go to SaveInfoWars.com today.
Live from the InfoWars.com studios,
You know, I'm taking it as an extreme honor that thousands of TV stations and thousands of newspapers globally attack us every day. That's because they're scared of the unity we're creating. They're scared of how America and the world's coming together around populism and freedom and justice, and we understand the false flags and the fraudulent wars and the lies.
Okay.
And
Our
so I don't
buyer's
like being
jumpy,
attacked,
but he's
at the end
got
of
the
day,
money.
I know it's a symbol of
Once
our
the goods
success.
dropped at different
And
locations around
I
the
wanted to
city.
get Larry Pinky
Anyway,
on
it's
tonight,
all loaded up
talk
for you
about
at
their attempt to create
LSIA. Make it
racial
happen.
division and attacks in this country and how we transcend that and stop it together, because they win if we don't realize what's happening. And I want to get into the wars and so much more with this icon, this author, this researcher, black activist, WG.org. He's a veteran founding member of the real Black Panther Party, not the racist Black KKK, New Black Panther Party. A former Minister of Interior, Republic of New Africa, a former political prisoner, and the only American to have successfully self-authored his civil political rights case in the United Nations under the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. In connection with the political organizing activities in opposition to voter suppression, Pinckney was interviewed in 98 nationally televised PBS NewsHour, formerly known as the Miguel NewsHour. He is the editorial board member of BlackCommentator.com. And Larry, I didn't talk to you, but the crew did. I said, what does Larry want to hit first? He said, he wants to talk about the persecution of the press and give us words of encouragement. So let's go there first, and we'll cover the waterfront. My brother in the human struggle for a pro-human future. God bless you, my friend. Thanks for spending time with us.
God bless you, Alex. All power to the people. First of all, I want to say, as always, it's a pleasure and honor and a delight to be spending time with you and the magnificent crew of InfoWars. I mean that. I mean it. That's why I say it all the time. There's a message that I have for you, though, Alex. You personally. And that message is this. Whether you like it or not, you are the Paul Revere and the Crispus Attucks of the 21st century. That's what you are. That's who you are. Whether you want to be there or not, you're doing what you know you have to do. And you're doing it for our republic, for everyday ordinary black, white, brown, red, and yellow people. And so, my brother, I know the burden is heavy, believe me. But let me remind you, as you carry on in this struggle, let me remind you that you are not alone. There are millions with you, and it is rapidly growing. I appreciate you so much, brother.
Well, and you too.
So do many, 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 many other people. So I'll keep quiet and go where we shall go.
No, you kick it off. What do you want to hit first with all the craziness?
Well, I think number one, I want to make it crystal clear that our quote-unquote government, and I put the word "our" in quotation marks, is not our government, all right? That Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Kamala Harris, and the rest of the insane ilk don't give a rat's petunia about the everyday ordinary people, be they black, white, brown, red, yellow, all right? And that we are the ones who hold the key. Everyday ordinary people, we are the ones who hold the key to not only our republic, first and foremost, but to planetary survival. We are on the brink of extinction if we allow these mad, insane, psychotic so-called leaders, and I say so-called because they're not leaders, they're misleaders. You know, Kamala Harris obviously doesn't know the difference between North Korea and South Korea, to put it mildly. Joe Biden is a fascist. Why do I say that? That seems like it's a very strong statement.
He said to Joe Brown's face that he didn't like black people and loved the KKK. He is arrogant.
He is beyond arrogant, my good brother. Joe Biden said, quote, if you remember, if our audience remembers, okay, quote, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. You don't support me. Now that's a fascistic statement. That's a statement that easily could have come out of the mouth of Adolf Hitler, of Benito Mussolini, of Francisco Franco, he is a fascist. And let me be clear about that. He and his ilk are neo-liberal fascists. Make no mistake about that. So the more they talk about democracy, the less democracy we have. The more they talk about freedom, the less freedom we have.
And by the way, I hear you basically, for those that don't know, you experienced it, you were there with Malcolm, but you're quoting Malcolm X right now.
That's correct. I did have the opportunity to actually meet Malcolm. And of course, the reason they killed Malcolm X was Malcolm came to, shall I say, his realization. He evolved and said, you know what? It's not about a black-white thing. It's not about that. Malcolm had killed. He had died. You see, it was okay as long as he was mouthing and espousing, okay, hatred or disunity. But it's when you call for real unity, they come after you. That's when they come after you. And my brother, I want you personally to remember that, because you're over the target. You are over the target, which is why you are receiving so much flack. I remember a former pilot of the Tuskegee Airmen, okay, who used the same example, okay, Dr. Harold Brown, all right, and you know, this is something we need to remember. Here we have a government today that is actually supporting the Azov neo-Nazi battalions of Ukraine. We got people over here who go to bed hungry, who are homeless, who have no hope for in this day. $85 million has been given to Ukraine. At least that's what we know of. That's only what we know of, because the CIA has their own very private budget, which of course comes from taxpayer money. So I just want you to know how very important you are. And I'm not blowing smoke. I don't have time for that nonsense. I'm trying to tell you, brother, you keep on keeping on.
I appreciate the encouragement, brother. So continuing on, you were laying it out where we are right now.
Where we are is at the crossroads. The crossroads of either regaining our republic, making it stronger and better, or losing everything. I suggest strongly that we will win, but at great cost, but we will win. So this is the crossroads. We're at a precipice. We are at a precipice, and we must back off from that precipice, take control of our government. We the people. Have the Democrats forgotten that? And again, have they ever remembered that? After all, it was John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, who murdered, who assassinated Abraham Lincoln. But of course, Americans, too many, not all, but too many Americans tend to be ahistorical, meaning simply they know nothing of history. They've been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed. But your job, our job, is to make sure that we reawaken our strength and our power. And of this, brother, we are doing.
I totally agree. Elaborate on why you think there's an awakening. I see it as well, not just here but worldwide, but it's happening.
It's happening because the reality is that people are finally seriously beginning to say, wait a damn minute here. How can we send, as an example, $50-some billion to some country thousands of miles away? How can we support neo-Nazis who are supporting that government? How can we do that when we don't even have freedom here, justice here, democracy here? I'm seeing it across the board. And I don't care about right, left, the Democrat, Republican, or Rhino Republican, independent. People are awakening and it's happening.
You're right. Larry Bigney, stay there. We'll be back. I wouldn't say that I'm a prideful person. In fact, I've gone through a lot of attacks, a lot of degradation, to tell the truth. But I am somebody that doesn't like to beg. And I'm somebody that doesn't like to bother people. But you know, if I don't bother you now, if I don't push you now to fight for freedom even harder, we're going to have globalists, these control freaks, Satanists, and pedophiles ruling our lives and ruling the lives of our children and innocent people. So I can override my instinct not to beg, and my instinct not to plead, and my instinct not to be annoying, back to us to do an amazing job. So much of our mission's complete. I'd say 90% of the work we set out to do, exposing the New World Order, preparing folks for their attack, getting people ready to fight back, is now bearing fruit. We're having incredible successes everywhere. Nationalists, populists, anti-New World Order folks get elected. The globalists in full panic mode. Their poison shot agenda falling apart. The list goes on. But now we reach the critical part of the fight.
God bless you, man. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for everything you do, man.
The man, the myth, the meatball. So that's about me, brother. What's on your mind today?
And so, honestly, I really just wanted to reach out to you guys and give you guys some, product plug if I could. The Bodies products that you guys have been crucial for my family. I'm the youngest one in my family, and I come from a half Asian, background. So I wish more Asians would come on to your show and speak up more, honestly. But I know that we need to be the model minority, what have you. Anyway, just going back to the Bodies, I presented this to my dad and also my mom, and they were skeptical at first to try to work with this because, they've been having some body joint issues and things like that. Just even just getting up and down from the couch, it was a strain on them, so I was like, hey, try this out. And not even one day later, they came to me and said, probably the first ever praise I ever got from my parents was, whatever you got from wherever you got this from, it worked fantastic.
Let me say something about that briefly. The average turmeric pill out there works great. It's 5% human. Ours is the strongest out there at 95%. We pay way more to get the strongest turmeric on the market, period. My wife has a lot of joint pain because she plays a lot of sports. And she said to me, well, hey, how is this a lower level of the bottle, but it works better than these big horse pills I take? The turmeric. And I said, honey, because it's concentrated. And now she takes this, and her hip pain, because she plays tennis a lot, is gone. So, yes, Body's Ultimate Turmeric formula is that good, brother. Go ahead.
Exactly. And then I just wanted to say, I'm not too much of a, putting on the t-shirts and whatnot and, giving that out. But after this helped out my family, I started to hand this out to my friends. And they have no idea what InfoWars is all about. But I told them, hey, if you want more of this product, which I gave them an unsealed capsule, you know what I mean? And I said, hey, this is for you, just try it out, just give it a shot. And they also said the next day, they didn't even wait 24 hours, and they told me, dude, I'm already starting to feel like I'm young again, like I'm a, basketball player. And
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
One of the original founding members of the Real Black Panther Party, Larry Pinckney, joins us here tonight. You're hearing real censored voices they don't want you to hear. Larry, as we look at the world and what's happening in the establishment, collapsing polls and nationalism, populism, elections everywhere, they are really panicking right now. I've got 100 questions for you, but I want to give you the floor for points you want to make tonight about where this planet is and what you think the people should be doing right now.
First of all, and thank you, my good brother. First of all, let me clarify something so that you or myself are unattacked by some neoliberal fascists. I am a former editorial board member and columnist with the National Black Commentator.com. Former, okay? If I can just imagine somebody saying that.
This should be a new bio, your old bio.
Yeah, that's the old one. Now, that's true. We've known each other for many years, haven't we, Alex? But anyway, let me talk a bit about what we should be doing, and are doing, right? For one thing, I think that nationally and globally, but let's begin with America first. Nationally, we are pushing the globalists, and they are globalists. But what do you mean by globalist? Well, basically, what Dwight Eisenhower talks about, the industrial military-industrial complex. What are you talking about by deep state? We're talking about what he was talking about then, all right? But
that's a great point. Define globalists. I'll give you my definition, but they're multinational, fascistic, anti-freedom corporations waging war against the grassroots, consolidating power.
Exactly. I couldn't put it better myself. I mean, you summed it up. And it's simple. It doesn't take, a rocket scientist, which I'm certainly not, to understand that that's who these globalists actually are. And it crosses all boundaries, including national boundaries. That's why they're trying to get rid of sovereignty, national sovereignty. You see? And you know that, and I'm sure that the vast majority of the audience of InfoWars knows that as well. But these globalists are serious. And one of the things, but we are too. We are also serious, very serious. But, the thing that I keep in the back of my mind as we move towards November, was the so-called election, please beware of any false flag events. This country, unfortunately, especially under this "you ain't black if you don't vote for me" Joe Biden,
attempting some discretion here, pretending we're
subterfuge, all right? And so be aware, be cognizant of what could lie ahead.